Hi everyone, this is Shammy. Welcome to my channel, and today we are discussing how to stay unbothered no matter what is going on in your life. Everybody goes through something at some point of life. In fact, something is going on all the time in our life and we tend to be bothered with them, and today we are discussing how to stay unbothered. Without further ado, let's dive in. Tip number 1, pause. Practice the pause because it may sound simple but it does the magic. I have been an angry child pretty much all my life, and then I found some group of people who has taught me to take that pause that I needed so badly throughout my life. And when I'm angry now, I take the pause and just do nothing and let's see what happens. Most of the time nothing happens, and there is a Chinese proverb that the anger causes more harm than the insult in the beginning. And you know what? That's true, because you don't have to reply to every single person in your life. Every single person goes through something. Try to understand them. If you can't understand them, that's totally fine, but just take the pause. And you will see after some time your anger will slow down and it will not matter to you anymore. And so yeah, take the pause. Practice the pause. Take a pause before accusing, take a pause before assuming, take a pause before replying. And most of the time we listen to reply. We don't listen to actively listen. So take the pause and listen. Tip number 2, mind your own business. We don't mind our own businesses, and that's a problem. If we mind our own businesses, most of the problem will not be there anyway in the first place. But we don't mind our own business. That's why we bother other people. We get bothered. And you know what? We should mind our own businesses. And if other person is disturbing us, try to bothering us, you don't have to reply to that situation. You can mind your own business. And when you focus, when you shift your focus to something productive in your own business, you actually can stay unbothered. Try that. It may sound difficult, but it is not so difficult. I was having a resentment towards somebody who had orange hair, and I don't even know that person. Do I really care why she's having an orange hair? It's totally fine. It's her life, it's her choice, it's her hair, it's her money that she spent on. It doesn't have to do anything to do with me. Why I am having a resentment against someone who doesn't even I know? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was shocked when I realized it, that I was having a resentment to someone that I don't even know. So mind your own business. Tip number 3, get rid of toxic friendships. There are a lot of toxic friends around us, or they are not friends. I'll tell you one story of mine. I had a bunch of friends, and once I was working really hard in my professional career. I was very busy. I used to go to the office around like 10 in the morning, and I used to leave office around like 10 in the night. That means minimum 12 hours a day, 7 days a week I was working. I was exhausted. So once there was an invitation to a party, and because I was really tired, really exhausted, and I came back home a little early, and I thought I will take a little nap because the party will be up to very late, up to 4 in the morning. And I know myself, I will not be able to stay awake or be energetic to mingle with the people, because what is the point of going to a party if I don't mingle with people? So what happened, that I was busy, I was taking care of myself, and I did not pay attention to the clothes I was wearing. So there's a party theme, and that is like red, black and white. You can also wear other colors, but these 3 colors should be there in the dress. So what I did, I was wearing a blue jeans, skirt, and a white and red combo t-shirt, and I was wearing a sneakers because I was thinking I'm wearing a t-shirt and a skirt, so a sneaker is going perfectly well. Probably it didn't go so well. I'm not a fashion enthusiast, I'm not a fashionista, but I am a normal person, and I thought I looked great. And I walked into the party, and all my friends made fun of me. And I was so sad for days that I did not have time for myself to buy a proper pair of shoes, and people made fun of me. And the next day I was upset. Next day I went for a walk, and on my way from the park to my car, I saw a person who came and begged me for some money. And I looked at him and I saw he does not have feet. And I realized that I was gloomy, I was upset for 2 whole days that I did not have a proper or fancy shoe to wear at a party, and my so-called friends made fun of me, and that person didn't have even legs and he was so happy, smiling. So I have taken my life for granted. I have taken my legs for granted. So I thought, like, you know what, this is enough. Enough is enough. I should not have this kind of friend who made me feel bad about myself because I didn't have time, or I was not following the fashion trend or so-called fashion trend. So yeah, get rid of toxic friendship. If you have some kind of friends who made fun of you, who doesn't support you, who doesn't understand you, they are not your friends. Get rid of them. Tip number 4, pray. Praying sounds very religious, but it's not. If you have a higher power, if you believe in some kind of higher power, it can be Allah, it can be Bhagwan, it can be God, it can be anybody. It can be Almighty, it can be nature, it can be anything. If you have a higher power and if you pray about that. Sometimes, you know, we go through problem and then it is not in our own hand and there are energy around us. If we pray about it, that like, hey, my higher power, whatever the name is, I am a Muslim, so I call him Allah. Hey Allah, can you please help me to stay unbothered because that person is bothering me really bad, and it is affecting my personal life, it is affecting my professional life, it is affecting my social life or financial life or anything of the sort. You can pray about it, and it may sound very simple, but it also does magic. Tip number 5, ignore. Ignore can be one of the top tip actually, because if you can ignore, you can solve a lot of problem in the first place, because most of the time we can't really ignore other people. They somehow get into our head, get into our mind, get into our nerve and bother us to the infinity, and just ignore them. You don't have to pay attention to them because they are not so important. Everybody is not so important. For instance, for me, my mother is important to me, my sister is important to me, my brother is important to me, but a person from my neighborhood is not important to me at all if I'm not close to that person. If I'm close to that person and I know that they will understand me. I don't eat meat, and all my family members are meat eater, and we get into a basic argument almost every day. Not argument, it's kind of like a vibe that whenever they are eating meat, I don't like it. Whenever I talk about it, they don't like it. We have no right to talk about or harm each other. We have no right to disturb each other. So what we have decided, we have taken a partition in the middle of the house. Whenever they are cooking meat, my mom closed the door and I can stay unbothered, and they can also stay unbothered. So this way we are not harming each other, this way we are not disturbing each other, this way we are not bumping into each other on a daily basis to disturb or unbother themselves, bother us. So yeah, ignore. And when I was learning these tips, I could not ignore for a certain period of time, and it bothered me really a lot, and I got into a depression. But then I found some people who really helped me to learn the art how to stay unbothered, and this is why I decided to make this video. So ignore. Tip number 6, stop being a people's pleaser. You don't have to please everybody. You are not an ice cream seller. Even an ice cream seller cannot please everybody. And we have this idea we have to please everyone around us. It's not our job. It is not our job to help everybody. It is not our job to please everybody. I am one person, I have one life, I have one small tiny life. I have very few people that I really care about. There are very few people on this earth who really care about me. So stop pleasing the people. If they are not important to you, just get rid of them. You don't have to be rude about it. You can just say, hey, I appreciate your concern, but thank you so much. I think I know how to take care of myself, but I appreciate it. And you see, next time they will not come to you because you were not rude, so they can't bitch about you, and you didn't say anything bad, so they can't bitch about you. Even they bitch about you, it doesn't really matter. Tip number 7, let it go. Letting it go can be one of the most difficult thing, but at the same time it is super simple. Just don't pay attention. Let it go, let it slide. Someone can say something, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to respond to that. Someone can say something, someone can do something, it's okay. It's their term, they have done it, it's their responsibility to fix that mistake. It's not your mistake in the first place. So you don't have to respond and be the same person that the other person is. You can be yourself and you can let it slide. If somebody is going through something, you can just simply say, I think you are going through a lot. I highly request, I highly appreciate if you can get some help. And I think you are going through something and I appreciate your concern, but thank you so much. I think I can take care of myself. And this way you can let it slide. Or just take a pause and don't say anything. Let them say and let them have their peace of mind, and you can just move on with your own life, because your time is precious. There are only 24 hours in a day. There are 365 days in a year. So everybody in this world have the same timing. It's just we are not very productive with our own timing. I sleep a lot. My body cannot function if I don't sleep a lot. But I have slept like 4 hours in my life for many years. Those days I used to be super active, hyperactive, but these days I am not hyperactive anymore. After my cancer treatment, my body has gone through a lot, and my body has gone through a fragile situation. I'm still fragile, and I need to sleep at least 10 hours. Otherwise my body doesn't function well, my mind doesn't function well. So learn to let it go. It is simple and it is difficult at the same time, but if you try, you really can. Tip number 8. Stop trying to fix and help everyone. It's not your duty to help everyone. Yes, it's nice when you help other people, but don't put yourself in danger. Don't put yourself into a situation then when your life can be affected. Recently, one of my friends has got in touch with me, and she was talking about the problem in her life. And at some point I realized she's talking about some person that I am close with, and that conversation was affecting my relationship with these people. And then I had to tell her, like, I sounds like you are going through a lot, and I understand that you are going through very difficult situation, but you know what, I highly recommend you to go to take help from somebody, to maybe a professional person, maybe some other close friend, because you know the people you are talking about, they're also close to me, and it is affecting my relationship. I can't put myself into a situation that I am in trouble. And she understood, she appreciated the situation, and then she have reached out to other people who can help her. And this way I helped her, I helped myself, I stay in a situation that it's a win-win situation for both parties. And yeah, it's not your duty to help everybody. Help, but help yourself first. If you don't have water into your glass, you can't pour water to other people. When you are in a flight, you know, when they talk about there's a air pressure drops, they say that put your mask first before you put your mask to your child. So take care of yourself, take care of your personal self, and take care of your family, take care of the people who are close to you, but don't help everybody putting your priorities in trouble. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching our video. See you in the next video.